Is V Rising still worth playing in 2025?
It is my honor.
Let's find out. V Rising's early access was released back in May of 2022. Since then, it went through massive changes ranging from weapons, gear, bosses, and many more. The full version was released 2 years later in 2024, and it definitely feels like the full package in my opinion. V Rising is a survival action RPG where you play as a vampire on your rise to power.
Blah, blah, blah.
You start by creating your character, and I must say the designs aren't too bad. Don't spend too much time here because you can always recustomize your character later game as soon as you unlock the Mirror Vanity, so that's a huge plus. After you finish creating your character, you wake up in a crypt where you must find your way out. This is where you understand the basic combat system and maneuverability. The enemies you encounter here are very basic, but I'll get to the advanced enemies in a sec. Like any other survival game, farming materials is essential to survive and advance in the later stages of the game. Wood, stone, fiber, and iron are just the basic necessities, so hacking and slashing resource nodes will get hold real quick. Rather than crafting tools to farm such nodes, the type of weapons equipped will determine the amount of resources you earn. For example, using a pair of axes will earn you more wood, while wielding a mace to smash stone earns you, well, more stone. The higher level of weapons you craft, the faster resources you gain. Speaking of leveling weapons, the level of your gear and weapons you have equipped determines your character's level. The higher your level, increases your overall health and strength as a vampire. Eventually, you will toss old gear and weapons for stronger ones. To unlock advanced gear, you must defeat certain bosses.
A fight? To the death? Must be fate!
Trust me, this is no easy task. Boss fights are one of the core aspects of V Rising and the most fun in my opinion. Every boss has a different fighting mechanic, which results in different strengths and weaknesses. There will be a point when running and dodging won't be enough because some bosses will start to regain health over time. Defeating bosses will not only earn you different crafting benches, but grant you spells to help you along your journey. The great part is, you can mix and match spells to your playstyle. If you didn't think boss fights were tough enough, you must consider the day and night cycles. After all, what's a vampire game without having to fight against the sun? The day and night cycle brings challenges to the game. Having to strategize when to go out to farm materials and when to fight bosses is critical. There were instances when I would fight a boss in a beautiful open field and not managing when the sun was about to rise. I was limited to the shade and had to run to fight another day. Well, night. A great aspect to the game is when the blood moon rises. Managing when the blood moon rises will give you that extra edge against bosses, so this is important to pay attention to. A vampire game wouldn't be proper without having a way to feast. Every enemy NPC provide what's called blood types.
Damn it.
Blood types range from warrior, worker, and scholar, only to name a few. Each blood type have different passive traits and different uses. I'll let you experiment which blood types works best for you. This is where the game gets interesting, if everything I mentioned previously wasn't enough. There's something in the game called servants. Later game, there will be a spell where you can dominate NPCs and convert them into your servants. Servants provide a means to help you gather materials across the map. As I mentioned earlier, farming materials can be super tedious, but having servants can definitely help you. When you build a throne and some coffins to house your servants, you can send them out across the map to gather resources for you. This does take time, but again, what good is a vampire game without underlings having to do your bidding? Each enemy NPC has a chance to wield a higher percentage of each blood type. As soon as you obtain the dominant spell, you can decide whether to convert NPCs into servants or have them remain as your prisoner. You can house prisoners by crafting cages for them at your base. You can craft glass vials to collect their blood type, but be careful, you do have to manage prisoners' health and their sanity. Each time you collect their blood type, prisoners lose health and gain misery for each blood drawn. You can increase their health by feeding them with rats and fish. Now for the bread and butter that holds survival games together, and one of my personal favorite aspects to any survival game is base building. In order to survive against the wilderness and the sun, building your base is essential. The core material to keep your base alive is, yep, you guessed it, providing it with blood. Blood is a core aspect of the game because not only does it source your base, but it also serves as a type of currency to upgrade and expand your base. In summary, I do feel that V Rising is worth playing this year and can definitely keep you entertained for some time. If this video was helpful, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.